How are you, Alex? How you doing?
Well, New York, and
Yeah, I'm in New York, of course. Yeah, yeah. I'm either going up or going down with the ship. We'll see what happens here in New York City. So, all good.
Most
yeah.
likely going down.
No, no, it's still per capita the wealthiest city in the world, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
they say
okay.
that all the worry for Mamdani move out to Florida. That didn't happen.
You know who used to be per capita the wealthiest country in the world at one point?
Hey
What?
guys,
Guess
I'm
which?
here.
Guess which country? No, Venezuela.
Yes, right. Well, we'll see.
Lo- Long ago.
They
So
make it. They can make a comeback.
yeah, well, hopefully. Anyway, with that, we
Guys.
got Ken on. We got Ken on. So I'd like to introduce you to my CTO and business partner Ken, who builds all the tech that we use. Ken, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Okay, good. You can,
Pretty good.
start.
So I only have half an hour, guys. I know you're scheduled for an hour, so hopefully that's enough.
All right, so
Ken,
let me begin then, Anton.
Okay, you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on.
I'm going to start by sharing the my screen here. Let me know if you can see it, and if you're on a desktop, it would be good. If not, it might be a little difficult. But
I'm on the desktop. I'm good.
picture in
Yeah, I can-
picture is open. All right, so you can see everything here now, right? I don't. How do I hide this window here? Oh my lord! All right. Okay, you see everything here. So I want to start out by saying that the first thing that this is, I'm gonna close this so as not to confuse you. I'm gonna show you this stuff later. This is a platform called Data Cloud OS. This platform allows quick workflows like these to be realized. Workflows where one can specify yourself as a company, which we call an issuer, for example, where one can quickly create a token system, which is called an issue, and it contains certain elements like these 20 elements. And then one can click a deploy button. And then one could go down to the bottom and click auto deploy, which would deploy all of these elements automatically as soon as you click start fresh, for example. And I click OK, it erases cached progress. It's immediately starting to create a controller, which has admin capabilities based on who you set as a token admin, as a treasury admin. Each contract is in itself a treasury as well. There's a time locks to meet with Rule 144. There's a sale manager. There's a liquidity pool. There's a platform treasury. There's a liquidity provider that automatically provides provisioning liquidity, a restricted sale for officer sales. Everything is thought of here for creating a solution for our initial problem, which is, hey, let's create a stock on the New York Stock Exchange and offer everything that stock offers, everything. And what we call liquidity provisioning is actually called market making on a stock exchange. I'm giving you this background just to show you how versatile and strong the system is. The controller is compiling, and it'll be done in a minute, and then it'll go on to token content automatically. The token content requires the project user to have a subscription agreement that's actually embedded, the signature, the hash code of which is embedded into the token portion of this contract system.
So let's make it interactive. Let's make sure that I'm completely in sync with you. You're now minting a token, right? That's what I understood.
Yeah, but I'm gonna close this because I know what you want.
Hold on, Ken, let me make sure that I try to explain what I think I'm seeing, and then tell me if I'm completely off. Okay, so this would be for we're talking about digital records of any sort, such as property address or property. Loan.
No, we weren't. We weren't,
Okay.
actually. I was going to get to that, and the only reason I'm speaking quickly is because you said you have 30 minutes.
I know. I'm trying to connect to what you're doing.
Right.
just-
Why don't we
you-
start from the beginning? Are you on a
Yeah,
phone or a
please.
desktop?
I'm on the desktop.
Terrific. Terrific. So this is a token that's represented by a project name, a token description. What is this token specifically? It's the representation of 32 Jane Street and 54 Monroe collectively together. I purposely did that to show you that this is
Collectively
not.
together means it's a property, it's a loan, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's whatever you
Okay.
specify in your subscription agreement. But I want to be very clear. This is not the NFT, which we'll show you later. In fact, I should log out. Let me log out, and we'll start at the very beginning.
Cam, I am still disconnected. What are we doing? So what is the
I want
purpose?
I want to show you
Yeah.
what the system is and what it's about to become for you. I understand that you have a need, and your need is to lock a title so that a customer can pay you $100, which you'll get a portion of, the county will get a portion of, and we will get a portion of. That allows them to lock the title, so when they go out of the country, nobody can register anything about that property unless they themselves unlock the property. And I'll show you how that works in a moment. What I first wanted to show you is what this system is, which, by the way, since we only have less than a half an hour, you can always click the About button at equitymint.org and see exactly what this is in big letters with 2 videos and 22 table of contents issues that tells you exactly what this is. And it doesn't get into very much about the property NFT at all, because this is a fractionalization platform, and the property NFT is the bridge to the government and municipal platform that we're building. The product that we're making for you is where only a handful set of member title companies, ideally all of them in this country, can actually both deploy an NFT contract representing a deed and representing title lock, for example, and mint for a specific property and add title lock. This is something that is eventually going to be taken over by the municipalities, and for now, and possibly for always, a separate system just for you guys. So the first thing I wanted to do is just get out of this. I want to start with our homepage, and I just wanted to log in. I want to show you that if you're registered as a title company and you log in, the very first thing you do is associate yourself with a wallet that's on blockchain. That's very important. Even though this is a centralized system, it has roots, big roots into blockchain to help achieve a product that we want to make for you. That's basically already done because we had to do this anyway for the government side. So I wanted to make it clear that the bridge between what the government needs and what we built is the property NFT, but the property NFT wasn't even needed until now. It's not needed for developers. It's not needed for REITs. It's not needed for anybody who just wishes to fractionalize a subscription agreement without selling units, but rather selling tokens. Automated distributions, complying with 506C, 506D. I'm going to click sign in now, since I confirmed my signature using the Ethereum platform. I'm going to click operations. And when I click when you as a title company click operations, you can see whatever you want to see. In other words, instead of seeing this that says properties, because you're not interested in making a fractionalization of a hotel, you're interested in locking title. So the only thing you really need to see is this down here: property NFT deployer and issuer linked properties. Actually, even this you don't need to see. You need to
Okay,
deploy.
hold on, Ken. Let's make it interactive. I'm not interested in locking title.
Oh, okay.
I
I'm so
don't know
sorry.
what that means.
I'm so sorry. I thought that was the product that you were
Okay,
interested in.
hold on. Let's take a step back. Okay. I don't know even where to start. All right. There's multiple uses for this, but it's not locking title. So in US, you don't want to mess with the county records right now just because there's 3,700 jurisdictions, and you might be happy with Florida. You're not going to be happy with anywhere else. Well, like 90% of the counties where the records are either private, they're public, but you have to pay for them, and or they're owned by.
We don't need those records. We just need their approval to.
I'm getting to sort of my role. So I
Okay.
own 3 firms, where one of them is diligence on the capital markets for
Mhm.
real estate transactions. And
Mhm.
we handle billions of dollars, right? Diligence on billions of dollars every month. And that's one. Second is we deal with the collateral files. And collateral files are a bunch of documents that we need to analyze and sort of confirm that we looked at them. Where the use of this technology, in my mind, is twofold. One is recent Tricolor bankruptcy, where one would double pledge the collateral. This would not happen. You would lock the collateral, as you put it, or put the NFT and notify that for this.
Can I take a breath here, just because this is interesting. So it's on the surface it sounds similar. You know, lock title, lock collateral. Anton expressed this to me incorrectly, and after he did, we met with a couple of other title companies in Florida that said this is the product that we should conceive and that they need. Now, because we were interested in you primarily being such a large title company nationally, from what I understand from Anton, he doesn't always explain
We're not
things.
title company, Ken. We're title diligence company. I am a title company as well, but majority of the business is title diligence. What does that mean?
So let me ask a question. You said locking collateral so they can't pledge the collateral twice, and I had understood, locking title so they can't pledge the asset twice, which they basically can't do anymore anyway. But tell me, so we would not need the counties for your product. We would just need or would we? Because if I lock collateral with you, what's to stop me from locking it with another title company unless every title company in the country used our service?
Exactly. So the point of the scheme is we will get integrated with some of the large players like JP Morgan and Chase that controls the MERS equivalent system for the collateral.
Okay, so in other words, there's just a couple of players that control the collateral system nationwide that you can get in touch with. Okay, that changes things quite a bit. All right, it might actually make sense for me to continue this then, because as you see here, I really wanted to make sure you see this. This is a tree structure. If you select United States, then these options change. There's New York, California, Florida, and all the other 50 states. You select New York, these options change. Suffolk County. This is still relevant because it appears to me that what we're still talking about locking is collateral of an atomic element, which is a property, be it a hotel, a condo, or a house, or a piece of land. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hello?
Not sure. I can't answer that question. What I need is, at least from what I hear from my clients, is I need the ledger showing that all the up-to-date, up-to-a-second entries are accessible through the blockchain.
Okay, so you need more than locking collateral of a property.
Oh, yeah.
You need.
This is just one of the applications. So
Okay.
locking collateral would be useful for somebody like Federal Home Loan Bank, where they would receive the collateral in exchange for the loan that they will give out to the member banks. And to verify that nobody else is pledging the same collateral, there will be some sort of a hashtag or symbol saying that this represents, everything related to this property and this collateral. Okay. Same thing.
We can say everything representing this property. So it's extremely simple for us to make a lock product. It's a Boolean. It's either locked or it isn't, and it's tied to a particular property using the GADM system. This is something that we can do. When you start adding documents, we can do that too. It's just a different product because the NFT doesn't contain the documents; it contains hash codes of documents, and I can show you that next. But
right, you don't need to see the documents, right?
So the documents need to be stored somewhere for any proof to actually show that those documents are on chain, if that's the product you want. That's more of a municipal property type system that we've also been building as part of this, where hey, you want to upload a doc in a centralized structure that's not yours, but well, it is yours, but one that you don't have yet, I should say. You can use our system to do that, and then you can match that. You can also upload what this is right here, the NFT contract address, the actual address that data pertains to, and the property, the universal token ID of that contract. These are the two IDs that represent a particular property. And that token ID cannot be made unless you've specified the GADM 1 through 5 plus the lot number. This is the unique. Yeah, so that's great. So this is the unique entity, established here. We can do all of this without the municipality, without the county's intervention, because you have only for one reason, because you have access to a handful of players that represent the entire system. If we were missing one player from that system, we couldn't do what you asked. But now I would like you to tell me more if you really need documents themselves or just hash codes stored. We can make the NFT around your specifications. So right now the specification is very general. It means we require a data hash representing all the data: state, country, property size, zoning type, constructed type. This is for the municipality. You might say, Ken, we don't need all of this nonsense. The only data we need are XYZ. In any event, it's only stored as one hash, one signature representing all that data. You change one piece of that data, then a new hash is stored, and the old one doesn't disappear. It still remains in the trail on chain. So you can never game the system. But in addition to that data stamp, there's also a stamp for documents, and they have to be PDFs, right? So if there's images, they're contained in a PDF. So in theory, if you're holding massive 500-page documents and we don't have to deal with that, great. If you wanted us to deal with it, right here where it says docs, you could upload docs into our system as well. It could get a little pricey though, because we know what, each project, if it's not $100 million project, and but it's got 10,000 pages of documentation, which I've seen, that will add up the costs on the data side. If we're talking, if you're talking, 50 terabytes are accumulated within 6 months of you using this product versus just 10 gigabytes, it's fine. Google Cloud can handle an infinite amount. just that there's extra data costs. I just want to, keep that in mind. So as soon as you go to add a document, it says attach file, choose the file. It lets you choose a file. You can do that. And then you can, it automatically sets up encryption details. You could even store it on IPFS by taking a hash of that document if you wanted to. So there's a lot of things in this system for you. In another phone call, you can tell me exactly what you want the product to look like. I can tell you we can make the most money the fastest if you say, Ken, let's just do collateral lock and then we'll add the data component structure later. And you agreed with me that the GADM portion for identification and creation of the contract and the token, meaning that each municipality can have a million properties, right? So there's two aspects here. There's creating the contract itself, which corresponds to a region specified by the GADM. And then there is the minting of the token ID in a given contract. And this system forces you to select the correct region before specifying a lot number. You could still make a mistake. You could specify a lot number that doesn't exist and we wouldn't know. Or
well, Ken, let me pause. So the guts of the system or capabilities, I don't care as much. I mean, I'm sure that it can be designed, and I would not ever be uploading the dots by hand. It would all be pushed through APIs. But again, taking a step back, you were asking me to design a system to promote to my client, and that's what I'm struggling with, right? Because the application that I see, it's the need for the industry. But if you are at the design stage, I'm trying to find the point of connection. I mean, to just know that you have it, it's a good understanding. I mean, I have no time to drive the design, right? I have.
No, I mean, I'm not asking you to even necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess I am in a phone call. I'm saying, hey, let's have a cup of coffee and design this in over lunchtime because it's built. I make a few tweaks and it looks exactly the way you want it to look. That's how powerful the system is. That was my point.
From engineering, Ken, it's not just engineering. It's scoping. It's doing the pilot. I mean, some of the clients that I have, if you're not SOC 2 compliant, you're out of the vendors.
That's right. That's why there's so much compliance in here, like restrictions on when things can be sold, and compliance is the most important.
SOC 2 compliance is InfoSec. It's $100,000 a year fee that pay to play type of thing for any company. But it's not a matter of compliance here or in the requirements.
There's specific things. They pay you $100,000 a year so that you can ensure that they're compliant. I mean, is that what you're telling me?
No, it's a U.S. thing, but it's all good.
It sounds to me like you might not have a particular exact product in mind, and you're still struggling with that. And
it's not particular product. Okay, so let me explain. There's a number of things in the industry that might benefit from this technology. For me to step back from my current activities, even for a cup of coffee, and define what industry needed, then create a working solution, go pitch it to my clients, run a pilot, say for Fannie Mae, and then confirm that the pilot works. It's just shooting in the dark in my mind.
I guess my purpose was to assure you that if you did have the product in mind, it's not a question of even building it. I have a no-code solution. It's a question of really, really quickly in 2 days showing you exactly what you envisioned. But I can't guess. You're right. It's shooting in the dark for me too. If you, who is the expert, you are the de facto expert, can't put it into words. I think I can help you with that. I have a huge amount of experience in business too, but I would need your expertise and I'd need to have that cup of coffee with you. So you either have the time to do it with me, would be wonderful, or not. But Anton can tell you, he hasn't met anyone else who can do what I do.
I get it. Okay, so point is well taken. So basically, taking a real high view of the system, explain to me in the simple words the ask for the top level diagram. So you have a system that can take in a PDF file or a description of something, and you will apply encryption, generate a hash, or generate NFT, and then maintain it, lock it, unlock it. That I don't understand how that would work in my business, but maintain it. For every new entry, the administrator of the NFT of your system will be able to re-encrypt and reissue the hash and notify all the users. right?
Yes, there's multiple components. A user can come in, like over here, you can enter a token address, and which I'd have to go find right now, a token address in deploy. I have to find a model here. Let me see if I can answer your question as far as like re-encrypting. There's, of course, yes. The answer is yes, but I just wanted to give you an idea. There's so many different roles that someone might play. So if we take a token, an actual token that's already been minted, there's one right. Where's the token? Here it is, the model token. We take this, for the platform itself, and we go into the sale, and I enter the token address, and I click connect and discover. This is an example where it says, "Hey, do you have a subscription agreement? If so, upload the file." That it could be any document that you're talking about, right? So
Sure.
if I go into, I don't even know where I've stored these things, but let's see the Immune subscription agreement version 1, and I go to verify uploaded document. This is actually going out on chain right now to verify, and it says the Immune subscription agreement. This hash right here is not part of, is not found in that. Because I made some changes, right? So it's not found. Maybe it's version 2, probably not even version 2 either. So, but there is a version that's found in another token that I made, and you'll got a checkbox here, and then it doubly checks to make sure that the token itself, in your case, the NFT property, is actually in there with the document. So it checks two things. One is the document at a URL that you specified? And then,
okay, so assume that, again, I don't want to dive into specifics. Assuming that you can add the document, remit the token, and distribute to the users, and even for the user to have access. Okay, good. So am I pretty much accurate on the block diagram in my mind, or something else? Can you send me more documents?
The only document I have that I can send you, because there's so much here, is the about, and you could just go to equitymint.org/about and you see everything that the system does. But yes, okay. you have a pretty good understanding of it. If I gave you an old token, for example, that was the precursor to this, you'd see, I'd have to find it though. I'd have to find that address. It was like ending in 90. You'd see that it authenticates.
So again, I only have 1 minute. So Ricky was with me, in the same industry, right? So Ricky knows exactly what I'm dealing with. So I deal only with collateral paper and titles for homes. Right, titles for homes only from the diligence perspective, not from the. I mean, we do counter research by people. I would never want to automate that because.
What is diligence in an exact example? Give me one example that I can just have in my head.
Okay, so let's say that you have an HOA lien on the condo that Ricky owns, and that lien would supersede the mortgage that the client is buying.
Oh, I have like a UCC lien, you said, or what kind of lien do I have?
HOA condo.
Okay, I didn't get.
Or Ricky didn't pay water bill. And
okay,
water
that
bill
supersedes the mortgage. Okay.
Right. That in New York, so there's a lot of rules that we pre-programmed in our system that will basically underwrite the loan and tell Bank of America that buys Ricky's loan that for me to buy this mortgage, the seller needs to pay off $50,000, which includes HOA, taxes, water, etc.
Okay,
code enforcement liens, DCB liens in New York. So there's all kinds of things.
So the diligence you do includes going to the county and or checking online county retrievals, because I also do debt settlement, by the way, on the customer side. So I get MCA companies coming to me all the time, and debt settlement for MCAs where they check to see the UCC liens. They settle at 42% or sometimes 20% of what's owed. I see all of this. I've worked with these guys for years.
I apologize, Ken. I have to drop. So send me the link to the About Us page. In my free time, I'll look at the videos. But I have to, again, I don't want to dive into specifics without understanding the top level why I need this, right? So why I need this to my industry. It might be super useful to let's say, Anton said Ecuador or El Salvador. It's great. They have their own system. You have Spain there. In US, I'm a subject matter expert for anything that's going on with all the counties in the United States, Puerto Rico as well, right? How do you treat the mortgage? What the life cycle is for the title, for the mortgage? And again, until I see the big picture of how to use it and what's the value at.
Yeah, we need to talk again. There's not enough time here so that we can go over that again. But I think
what I'll do, Alex, I'll speak with them and I'll kind of try to brainstorm a solution, because I understand where you're coming from. It's like, hey, here's 100 flavors. I really only need 3 to really move this along. And we need to identify those 3
All right.
flavors.
You've got the core aspect. You've got document hash, storage, and provability, and that's what the about document shows you when you go to the about screen here and look at these things. It tells you, it shows you how it handles signing documents and how it works. So you can go to court and say, look, these documents were here and they existed at this time and they were associated with what a user said, and that we have.
That's not correct. Correct. The thing is,
Ricky, give them that to me. I gotta go, guys.
Okay, yes, Alex. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys are still there? Okay,
Yeah.
So I know Alex for many years. He is who he says he is. He is running a incredibly well-to-do title research company, right? So when I sold the mortgage, I want to buy a mortgage. I use his service. He runs what's in, just quickly dumb down, a title search. So he will see if there's a first, a second, a tax lien, a water bill, HOA lien, and then I get that report back, and now I can, with these numbers, I can say, hey, this is how much I want to buy said mortgage for, or how I feel it.
Are these okay, so can't any title company do that for you now? Any title company can go get the county records using.
Literally, yeah, but there's industry leaders.
There's
industry leaders. Yeah, anyone can actually do this themselves. Well, when I was teaching people how to do due diligence, you do order a title report, and then you do it yourself, and make sure nothing fell through the cracks. Just if they do a title search, it doesn't mean it's 100% correct.
There could be some handwritten list pendants from 1910. That's true.
Yeah, because you should always verify Paulding County yourself or showing up yourself, right? So anyway, so that's the business he's in, and again, he works with the major players, the banks and the resellers of mortgages. I used to be a reseller myself. So his question is, the system works. You guys are the future, but how can we properly present it so it says, hey, okay, there's actual usage for it, right? Because you guys basically overpower it. You do too much for this.
Yeah, let me ask you something. First of all, it's really hard to talk. When anybody ever tells me they've only got 30 minutes, it's never a good conversation for me, ever. These things, to formulate and have a good, productive conversation with an end result, you need 2 players willing to participate, and it could take 2 hours, 3 hours. My mom just came out of surgery, by the way. She just had a pacemaker put in, and I still participated in this phone call, right? And I'm still here. My sister just said she had a successful surgery. She's tired. She sent me a picture, so I'm very happy.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, again, I'm trying to just bring a proper lead your way to you guys. And he is a proper lead. He is capable of doing business with you guys. It's just he still doesn't understand. Like many people, I'm sure you could come across, they just don't get it.
Can I just talk to you for a minute? Because I didn't even know there was a third person on this phone call. I mean, a fourth person. My name is Ken Silverman.
And we spoke before. This is Ricky Brava. This is Anton's friend.
Ricky, that's right. Ricky, is this guy your contact, Alex?
Yes.
All right, terrific. So now I understand. Now you're in the business of occasionally, or one of your core businesses, actually buying mortgages.
For many years. Yes.
So this guy provides a service like other title companies are providing you the list pendants that he sees on the books. It's that simple. And these mortgages,
the secondary market, yes.
Okay, and these mortgages, are they residential or commercial?
Both.
Okay. Now we can begin the conversation, because I had no idea. I thought this guy was a title company, and I thought the diligence that he does.
Not a problem.
And I also thought the diligence he based is strictly like on UCC liens and commercial properties. So when you talk about due diligence, on for somebody buying a mortgage, I immediately just went right to a complicated development deal, because this is where this system shines, where you've got 100 to 1,000 investors and you're doing a development deal and you have a subscription agreement. That's the product we have today.
Yeah, that's for another person, for example, that I can probably imagine to get on the phone. But this is an easier sell, in the sense that once, let's say we clean it up, dumb it down, it's beneficial for a title search company to use this blockchain.
Let me go. This is not dumbing it down. It's the other way around, Ricky. Like, this is much more complicated than just finding a developer who wants to have 100 employees. If we go back to this, the developer just puts in his name, his damn company name, and then what does he want to issue? What is he making a subscription in? What does he have a subscription agreement in? To sell what? What the hell is he selling? He's selling shares in what? Okay, write it up, damn it. Say that you're going with SEC 506B. There's millions of players in this field.
So, you're talking about syndication, basically, right?
I'm talking about I'm talking about anything as simple as making an LLC to something that's called a subscription agreement, which is where
Yeah,
which represents anything.
correct. But in lane terms, it's a syndication, so you don't have to do the paperwork for a Reg D or Reg A.
Well,
So you can do
you still have to do the
syndication.
paperwork. Syndication is a big word for me. That's why you say layman's term. I consider myself an expert in so many areas, and I still don't even understand the word syndication because it's too broad in meaning. For me, no, it's fractionalization it's a promise that's fractionalized, and because it's fractionalized, which means because it requires human involvement, it passes the Howey test. It's typically a security. The system is perfect. Doesn't mean you don't have to file. You still have to file 506B or 506C. But if you've got 1,000 investors, you're going to want to automate distribution of rents that come in. Let's say you're going to want to automate provisioning the liquidity pool, meaning market making. And you're not powerful enough to be a stock on the stock exchange because you're a guy who's doing a $10 million or $100 million project, but not a $1 billion project. Or $100 million, you could probably be on the stock exchange. But maybe not. And most people don't want to be. There's a lot that goes with that, and you're not going to get accepted. So it's like, how do you have all of the power of being on a stock exchange, selling primary shares like Goldman would, but you don't? This does what Goldman does. This does what Goldman does. And how much are you going to pay Goldman to do that? Good luck. We can make your whole system in 20 minutes. So no contracts, nothing. You just need one contract, which is your subscription agreement. There's millions of people every single day that need this service. Ricky, can you see the screen? Hello?
Yes, I do.
Ricky,
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
That product is not here where it says issues. Could also say tokens right here. The product that for the title guy is here. Because there's a lot to explain here. This was so important to show him. This very simple GADM system. It's really important that he knows that when you do actually deploy an NFT contract, it represents a region. It's something the municipality would typically do. But we're giving the power to the title company to do for his own internal system. Once you have that system, yes, you can represent documents and the trail online for provability. But every player has to accept it unless the county approves of it. This is better. Let me tell you why. All you need is one county. That's it. One county in the entire country to say, okay, we like it. We've already got a Boolean, which means true or false, Boolean. We've already got a Boolean for making something private if it's like police owned or if a military owns the property. So let's just add another Boolean called lock. And we will honor it so that we will not allow any record to come through on this property. And why will we do that? Because you're going to pay us $33 for that. You're going to pay us $33 just for the ability to lock. So that's more tax income. That's more revenue for the not tax, whatever you call it. It's more revenue for the municipality. They'll be all over it. And guess what? We've got one county. We got a product. Why? Because everyone in that county is protected. So that means all the title company has to do is offer it as a product. And then we get another county and another and another and another. So I thought Alex was going to be in a position to do that. We came up with this product dealing with the owner of a title company who is an expert. So he knows. If you want to send him something, send him equitymint.org/about. In the meantime, we have a wonderful white labeling system so that, Ricky, if you do bring us people, you can have your own ricky.equitymint.org. That would include Anton too, obviously, right? Just like we did with a couple of other players. So you'll be set there. Anybody who comes in through ricky.equitymint.org, automatically fees go to you. Automatically, USDC fees go to you on any transfers and activity that happens within the system. Why not? And then you might say, well, why don't they just go to equitymint.org? Because our fees will be higher at equitymint.org than they will through any of our subsidiaries. So that just like IBM does. So this protects the not subsidiaries, white labelers, excuse me. So look, Title Lock is an important product, and the county has to endorse it in order for it to take off. And we don't need every title company. Because if you're missing one, like we had in this conversation, you're missing just one collateral company, that's it, you're done. But he said, oh, Morgan controls it. So all we need to do is get Morgan's acceptance. Okay, so that was a good part of the conversation. But acceptance for what? He hasn't formulated the product. What? I'm sure I could. I do really well at making products when I'm speaking with experts. The only reason I made a product the other day is because I was speaking to an expert in title. This guy might be, but he's concentrated on diligence. So his product is diligence. He's already got centralized structures to go into the county and do the diligence. You don't need blockchain for that. You really don't. Blockchain is for provability in case the source is corrupt. If the county were corrupt, county's not corrupt.
Correct.
Right. So it's great for Central America where the county could be corrupt, but we've got a really great system for developers right now. You guys want to make money now because there's millions of developers out there and there's millions of people writing subscription agreements for LLCs. If you need more than 20 investors, you need our product. It's not even like, oh, let's push the product on them. You need it. It's really advantageous to use our product. But Jesus Christ, when you got to distribute a dividend to 20 different investors, you want proof also that you've met with 506B, that they've signed this. Look at this. He didn't get to do this.
Would the CPA firms be a good thing for them?
Look at this subscription agreement. I confirm that I trust the domain owner. I have read and agreed to the subscription terms. Now look at this. Investor registration, SEC Reg D requirements. You must enter this information, phone, city, state, and you must say I am an accredited investor. You must say I am a non-US person. This all gets stored on chain. So,
correct.
And then you self-certify. So this does already meet with SEC guidelines, the way I do this. It's like,
let me ask you a question.
You asked about accounting firms. You asked me if accounting firms could use it.
Yeah, we could put a quick yes or no. Yes, CPAs can use this.
Only if the CPA
is issuing the this.
Yeah, why else?
For their client.
Why else? I mean, they've got their own.
Okay.
No,
because they have the client list that are creating LLCs.
Ricky, you know who I'm approaching about this right now, and I have already a couple of calls. People that I'm waiting to hear back from them is funds.
No,
like
no.
Anton, another reason I'm upset is because now that we have the system that can basically do the government side too, because of this.
Well, Ken, we don't need to be upset, right? I'm also just understanding everything you.
No, not with you, Ricky. I'm just
with Ken. What you're describing on the digital space with blockchain introduction and with the guidelines for a Reg A or a Reg, is this basically a digital Reg A that I can substitute that way? Because you said it's registered with the SEC automatically too, because it's meeting all their guidelines. Is this something, instead of me going to a lawyer and say, hey, prepare a Reg A so I can go get investors, could I just use this?
So here's the catch. When you use this, I think you just send a note to each state that you're raising $10 million or $20 million. You don't have to ask that permission. You just send it because that's what 506B allows you to do. And 506C may allow the same, but there's more strict accreditation guidelines. You actually have to. They can't just self-certify that they're accredited. They have to upload some documentation to prove that they're accredited.
And can they upload here to prove it?
Well, that's only if I had a customer, I would do that because I need a month to build a registration system that competes with some sub or any of these.
No, because it sounds like an incredible vertical. I'm not saying this is your business, but this is one of them. Because the view of what you built is incredible.
Thank you. To answer your question, though, to do 506C, I would need to do one other thing here. See how on the token sale where they do this self-certification, I would have to include a button here that has a live video, checks the live video against their national ID, and allows them to upload a deed or a W-2 or a 1040. And then
I get it. No, it's awesome, and I know that you can take
the reason Rick is asking that because at one point when we were working together years ago, he paid $50,000 to get this from a lawyer.
Yeah, so to answer your question, we can do 506C, but as far as Reg A goes, now I believe with Reg A, that's where the blue sky laws are, right? That's where you have to actually register in each state. And I'm not as familiar with the requirements on the physical side.
Okay.
I need to do at least 20 minutes of research to figure that out.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to call a lawyer, a buddy of mine who does this, and I'm going to ask him because this will be, like I said, a vertical. Like you say, millions of people are paying so much for so many different services. This is one of them. People are registering Reg A, Reg D, all of them daily, a ton. We could undercut everyone because it's already done and digitized and speed up the time, no?
Yeah, but let me ask you something. I'm reading this now. Much of Reg A can be automated, but not to the same degree as 506B because Reg A has front-loaded SEC qualification, audited financial requirements, ongoing reporting, and advertising rules. It introduced non-automatable human legal filings. However, once the issuer is qualified, my RWA tokenization stack can automate nearly everything investor side, including offering distribution, KYC, AML, investment limits, subscriber agreements, token issuance, escrow triggers, compliance gating, secondary sale restrictions. All these things are in my system. It knows what my system has already. Just FYI, this is in context. Reg A becomes very automatable post-qualification, but cannot be self-executing from zero like 506B. 506B is fully automatable. My system has fully automated 506B. My question to you is this. Look, everybody wants to make money, but all you sales types, go after the 506B people now. Even the 506C people we can go after because this system has manual registration. They go up here, by the way, right? For the token, you enter the token as an admin right here. Look, you click admin, enter the token address that you made, right? Connect as admin. And now what? You can gate it. You can ungate it. See, toggle token gating. But look at this: manual registration, no sales registration if they're out of the country, and everybody's out of the country forever, right? Self-registration enabled. But here it is: manual registration. This is for 506C. Let them deal with that. Come through our system. We take care of the rest. Everything else is automated.
Okay.
And I'm going to add a really complex 506C type and Reg A type registration system that has the live verification and all that. 506B. That's most of the LLCs in existence. That's most of the properties in existence. Delaware statutory trust, mineral rights, anything can be a Delaware statutory trust. I mean, if you substitute the word interest, and LLC uses the word unit, Delaware statutory trust uses interest. So each interest is a token instead. Go after those people.
Yeah, not a problem.
You know, there's going to be a day in the next couple of weeks where I'm going to be like, it's not only done, but it's improved and it's finished, and you can register yourself.
And it's alive. It's alive, Ken. Yeah. Listen, I like it a lot, but the thing, and I get your frustration. Again, I'm new to this dance of what's happening, so I'm sorry that you're going through it. The landing page is great. So you got a dedicated 1-pager or 2-pager, just focusing on the REIT aspect of it. Just that automatic REITs, whatever you want to call it, right? There it is. And then we have a price point: package A, package B, package C.